Hey, morning everyone. Thanks, Enoch. Right. So it's always good to see you guys, my brothers and sisters. Right. During the pandemic, you guys stay safe. We don't get to see you in person. It's always good to have this webinar and have a chat with you, right? So I strongly encourage everyone to stay tuned to end of the workshop because it's going to be very exciting today. What's going to happen is that I'm going to kick off the startup with the Tech Pro workshop, and I'm very honored to have HPE working with Ingram for this activity and this event. So partners and all the partners out there, right? You know which distributor to go to, right? There's only one distributor for HPE, which is Ingram, right? And I'm talking to you now. So I'm going to kickstart the event to talk about things like I'm going to share a bit of the Malaysia and ASEAN outlook for 2021. So for business stakeholder out there, for partners like yourself, you at least know what's happening in the market, what are the end users, priorities, focuses, and budget. And then we will share with you what to do and what are the areas to focus and win, right? And then after that, HPE and Ingram is the way. What are the solutions that we have for you? This is very important because all these findings of customer surveys are from Ingram and data analysts itself. And we like to share this with you so that we know that during tough times, you can help you to stay afloat and to transform your business and to be successful, right? So without further ado, I'm going to just go into my deck. So as you can see from here, right, be it MCO, RMCO, or whatever you call it, right? In Singapore, circuit breaker, everything. The ASEAN GDP still has projected growth, right? Based on all the data analyst findings. And the biggest growth you have comes from IT services. If you pull to the far right, these are what customer is going to spend on, right? After they realize that the pandemic hit and they need to work from home and transform their business need. So IT services is the main priority and data center is last, if you can see from there. And Malaysia, like it or not, be it all the political turmoil, the situation we have, still has the highest GDP projection for ASEAN in FY21. So that tells us, right, during tough times, there are still a lot of opportunities out there. It's just that how do we change our business model, tune our staff, our strategy to go and grab this set of markets, right? Now, so the next thing I will talk about customer business priorities. So if you can see here, IT is very relevant to all these business priorities. We start to work from home. We start to need to upgrade our collab solutions. We need to do cloud services, etc., etc. So these are the top 3 priorities that the end customers are definitely looking into in 2021 onwards, because a lot of their infrastructure and setup is not ready to cater for such changes. Number 1, which is they need to modernize their technology. And when they do that, they need to improve security, governance, risk, and compliance, because a lot of new things need to be in place, right? And last thing, they need to digitalize their business. So these are the top 3 priorities that end customers today are definitely looking at in FY21. Now, I'd also like to take the chance to share with you guys the budget, right, that customers have. So if you look at the 2 charts here, back in 2019, most of the organizations have a 50% IT budget, but that IT budget doesn't segregate in what they spend. It can be anything they want. It can be renewal, it can be security, it can be infrastructure, it can be cloud and network, etc., etc. But look at 2021. There's a 40% budget, right, that customers have allocated purely for digital transformation projects. This is where the money is, and this is where they need to spend. Even our government has announced, right? I think recently we all read the news. They have appointed 3 service providers to build hybrid cloud based out of Google, Azure, and AWS for the Malaysia government agencies and GLCs. Right? So you can see all this transformation coming in place, right? Even our government is acknowledging it. So this is where the budget is for the customers. So this is where, as a reseller, you should know or tune your conversation with the customers to grab hold of that projects they are going to spend. If you miss this wave, you're going to miss it big time, right? And the next thing I will bring to your attention is like the priorities of all this budget going to spend for digital projects, right? So back in 2019, you can start to see customers moving digital transformation as their priorities, right? They want to upgrade their customer experience, etc., etc. So you can see the top priorities of the end customer spending from 1 to 8 on 2019. So what has changed since 2021, right? The cloud adoption, the modern application, the data analytics, right, has moved up the food chain, has become top priority after digital transformation and security, right? So this is where you need to put your money in. train your employees to be able to hold these kind of conversations with your client, your customers, in order to be successful. Gone are the days that you talk about hardware, software, box. No, you need to understand the cloud, the security, the analytics, the transformation, right? So I give you guys a minute here to snapshot this chart. I think many of you want to take this back home, right? So this is what the 2021 customers' priorities are, and all these analysts, right, are based out of end customer survey. We talked to 20,000 customers in ASEAN. There's about 4,000 in Malaysia, and these are the summary of their voices, right? And all these customers are from enterprise, GLC, oil and gas, utilities, retail, you name it, right? And government agencies as well, and banking, right? Then next comes to customers. For you guys, partners out there, we also ask the customers, right? If you are going to do your transformation journey, how are you going to cope because you don't have skill sets? Apparently, all of the customers say they have more budget to outsource or sub all these services or capabilities or skill sets, as mainly on security, cloud, analytics, customer experience, and business analysts to partners, which means partners like yourself, which are able to scale up your skill set in this area, you are prone to get more business from your customers, right? So this is very important. We need you to up your skill sets from this angle. Now, next is, these are the partner selection criteria from these end customers. They need the partners, SIs, service providers like yourself, to be very skilled in your solution, the solution that I talked about, right? Security, cloud, modern applications, analytics, etc., and able to provide end-to-end solutions. You need to be a vendor industry solution expertise, and you need to provide as a service as well. So this is also very, very important, right? So the next slide, I will bring you to areas to focus, right? So these are what, having said all I mentioned earlier, I just want to bring you to this to tell you that with Ingram and HPE, you are able to provide all the solutions seen in the center, from IoT, big data, security, cloud, data center, mobility, etc., right? You're able to wrap all these solutions to offer to all your clientele sectors vertically. So that is why I want you guys to stay tuned to the end of the event, right? Because upcoming, whatever HPE is sharing is very, very useful for you to address what I shared earlier in those market segments with your customers, right? Whichever solutions you pick, suitable for which vertical industry, right? So this is what the power of HPE and Ingram comes along. And what we have for you is that when the two combine, right, the two largest US MNC combine, we're able to have all the solutions, right? HPE has all the hardware, has all the cloud transformation solutions. Ingram wrap it up with financial, wrap it up with software, and all other complementary solutions then are able to help you provide your customers with cloud transformation journey, digital workforce transformation journey as well, and cybersecurity transformation. So that is why you guys need to stay tuned, right? Throughout the end of the event, learn all this, pick up what you need for your business, right? And the last slide I have here before I hand over the deck is, you have to trust in Ingram and HPE, because Ingram and HPE will lead the change to the market, and we are the way, right? So to my brothers and sisters, I know I cannot see every one of you in person, but I really hope to see you guys very soon, right? And I think now we are more relaxed in CMCO, so those that want a whiskey can please ping me, and then we can catch up for whiskey anytime, right? So thank you very much. I hope we have a fun journey and fun event ahead. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it to the next speaker, which is Abhinesh from HPE. The first thing we're going to tell you is, with Ingram and HPE, how are you going to make more money, right, with this partnership? So I think that's going to be exciting. So stay tuned.